Hello everyone, my name is Michael and I'm talking to you from the Verse. If you are not familiar with what the Verse is, I invite you to go to my website at rewritingtheverse.com, and there you can find all the written and video updates that I have posted over not a very long time actually, to get caught up on everything I know about the Verse so far. Last weekend, which was September 28th and 29th of 2019, I let you know that there was a group of people in the Verse that were ready to fully integrate their Versa energy with their Versa partners and their Trinity partners who were also at the Versa level. So it did complete last weekend for that particular group, and what we weren't sure about, what I wasn't sure about, is how it was going to look afterwards. How fast were these unions going to show up in the physical? Because yeah, that's at the energetic level, but how about here, down here in this physical form? And so far things are kind of rolling along. I can't say I've seen any major quantum leaps. I mean, people that were already in communication are still communicating. Those that were in separation before, as far as I can think of, they're either still in separation or maybe some early stages of communicating. But ultimately, I haven't seen anybody going backwards. If those people believe that their person was a Versa or a Trinity, they're still in communication and moving forward in some way. But as far as a quantum leap, oh my gosh, everybody ran out and got married. No, that didn't happen. Not that I'm aware of anyway, and the people that I'm connected to. So although we did have a wedding this last weekend that I talked about in a previous video, someone that had already been engaged and was already planning on getting married, who was within the Verse energy, they actually did get married this last weekend. So somebody did, but they were already in the process of that. And so, but they were, my understanding, the first official formal physical union of two Versas in the Verse. So that in itself is exciting, and congratulations to them. They set a template for the rest of us. Those of us that want to be at that level of union, we now have a kind of a map, I guess. They were able to create that for us, so that's great. But as far as any real major miraculous movement on the physical, I'm not seeing it yet, but there, like I said, there's progress. So what I wanted to expand upon this week is something I witnessed as far as the Trinities. And I'm going to go back all the way to the Lemurian rewrites, where I saw each state had a royal family, and each family had a different lineage. So, and this was true on Atlantis too. There was something similar where races of people, I'm not just talking, people from this planet, I'm talking about people from other places coming in and setting up shop in a territory on the continents. And for the Lemurian continent, there was an understanding that everybody that was there were working together, unified for a common purpose. So it wasn't a hodgepodge, people just showed up. There was a planned grouping of all these different soul families. And there was something similar going on in Atlantis, but I'm going to stay focused on the Lemurian royal families at the moment. And I'll just give you an idea of some of the races that I saw. I know I didn't see all of them, but there were 5 different races that showed up in those, or at least I was able to see as I was getting information from those timelines. And I'll just go kind of in order of where they were on the continent. On the far west, northwest end, there were a group of reptilians. Then down here, southwestern, there was a group of insectoids. Then farther to the east, an angelic group. Over here on the east side, there was a lion group. And then the other group that I was aware of were elementals. They were also there on the East Coast. You see what kind of wide variety of races were there working together. So, and yet it worked. For the most part, there was total harmony within those groups. They worked well together, even though they ran each state according to their own race, their own traditions that they brought with them from wherever they were from. In fact, they terraformed the land to fit what their probably most likely what their home worlds would have looked like. They terraformed them, so there was a lot of different variety in the looks of the land, the different customs of the people. But everybody that lived in a particular state, most of them were related genetically to the lineage of the royal family. So my point actually is circling back to the Trinities. And what I have seen over the last week is that each Trinity coming together is coming together. Yes, they're coming together in resonance, overall vibration, but there's different parts of them that really hold the Trinity. I will speak of the angelic group, since that's my group on that, in that particular timeline. By the way, I had multiple incarnations in Lemuria, so I'm not even saying that's all I was in that lifetime, but that was one of them. And I could say that when it comes to the angels, it's all about the heart. That's what I saw. The heart connection was by far the strongest and most intense and important part of the connection. We could have a lot of other things in common, everything else in common, in fact, but if we didn't have that heart connection, there just wouldn't be the level of unity in the Trinity that there could have been. But that is not the case for other groups. Some of them are very cerebral, mental. And if they didn't meet intensely at that level, all three of them, it wouldn't matter all the other levels of connection that were there. It's been interesting for me to watch this unfolding and to understand the dynamics, and to really start to look at, okay, this might work for myself and my Trinity, but trying to map this onto especially any other soul group that is not from my lineage, that just isn't going to work. Everybody has their own customs, their own way of relating, and none of them are better or worse than the others. They're all very powerful connections with their versas. So you may know what group you're connected to, or you may have no clue, but it really doesn't matter if you know it on a mental level. You'll know it here, or, well, I guess if you're an angelic group, or you'll know it here, or wherever else you'll know it. I'm sorry, I just kind of contradicted myself there. You'll know it wherever your particular race is most connected, and how they communicate and how they relate to each other the most powerfully. That's where you'll feel it. That's where you'll experience it with your Trinity. So I hope it makes sense. I've been having to kind of piece this together myself this week. Even I'm learning new things despite all my experience in doing past life regressions. Ultimately, though, I think it's all perfect. This is about people bringing back their soul groups, their Trinities, creating their heaven on earth. They may even be being called to move to locations that now resemble more of their homeworlds. I could see that possibly might happen to me in the future, as I now know what the angelic realm looked like in Lemuria. So I'm just sharing my observations from this week, and I hope this has been interesting for you. And please follow me as I continue to work my way through this Versa journey, the Trinity journey, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.